Welcome. I'm Halcyon. We are gathering here for Hug Nation. How do I know? Because we do this every week. Today, the topic is you're always midway on the path. Or you're never gonna get it. Never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never get it. So I want to share a story that I tell frequently. It's about some broken shells. If you were ever stuck with me for a long period of time, i.e. in an elevator or a wedding table as we're waiting for the bride and groom to get their pictures taken, you may have heard me tell this story because it is one that helps me to recalibrate frequently. And because my memory is poor enough that I need to tell stories to myself over and over again. You know how people have sticky notes in their house? That's my life. So, around the year 2000, I was living in a webcam house where everything I did was broadcast on the internet. There were computers in every room, these like big tower computers that are buzzing all the time. And I had times of day that I had to be in the chat room to kind of interact with members of the site. And so my whole life was about these schedules and computers and technology and bzzz. And then when I moved out of there, because the project eventually collapsed, I moved into a place that was right on the ocean. And then my life started to focus around sunsets and low tides and the sound of the ocean as opposed to the buzzing of computers. And it was so dramatic. I'd never before experienced how significant your environment could be on your spirit and your mindset. And so in this new place, I started taking beach walks, usually at sunset, but really whenever the low tide was ideal. And I started noticing these beautiful shells. And one of the first times I went for a walk, I found this perfect shell. So gorgeous, like out of the cover of World Magazine or National Geographic or something. And then every shell after that I found was broken. I mean, sometimes just a little break, like this one's got the nose broken off, but it's not perfect. And I just kept broken ones. And each time no, not perfect. Not perfect. Will I ever find a worthy shell again? And then I started just holding on to the broken shells and really started looking at them. And I saw that they would break in these beautiful ways. Like, this one's like breaking off so that there's an area you can see through. Still see some of the spiral. But eventually, they all would break, and they would be broken down into these rings. And so you'd see along the beach these white, gorgeous rings. And all of a sudden, I saw that they're perfect. They're perfect. These are perfect shells. And as I sat with them and meditated on them and held them, I could see that these shells were exactly midway in their journey. They were midway between their formation and the eventual breaking down to becoming sand in this perfect midway state. And in this state, there's something totally different. You know, it's a piece of jewelry, it's a ring. And I love it because it is this reminder that we are always midway on our journey. Outside of these brief moments of death and birth, when we're in transit between dimensions, every other moment of our life, we are midway. We are in the process of dying. We are in the process of living. We're always exactly where we're supposed to be. We're always midway on the journey. And that reminder I find so liberating, and an antidote to this belief, that an unhealthy belief that I still really struggle with, of the need to be perfect or get it right, or what I have to offer or even share in any way needs to be at a level of excellence before I can share it to the world. I don't even mean just like teaching something. I mean even just like a sport. I have not been on a ski slope in 20 years because I went from being a good skier to being a novice snowboarder. And I couldn't handle that feeling of, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not good enough. I'm a broken shell. I'm not perfect. And so I stopped going. There was times when I picked up like flow art things, and obviously I suck. I'm a novice. But I have this internal story that I need to be perfect. I need to be good to be of value. I need to be a perfect shell. And so I have noticed over the years this reoccurring need to be an unbroken shell. A conflict will come up in a relationship, and I get defensive. I take it personal. I feel like I should be better at this. I can't do this. When I need to recognize that I'm always going to be midway on the journey. There's always learning to be done. There's always as far ahead as there is behind. And recently, I feel like I have been soothing that story in my head. I've been embracing the perfection of where I'm at on the journey, and recognizing how beautiful and perfect I am right now, and how everything that I have experienced up till now has put me in a really beautiful place. A place that is still incredibly novice. Still midway on the journey, so far from the finish line. There is no finish line in sight. But a new sense of confidence in exactly where I'm at, which has allowed me to feel a little bit more comfortable receiving criticism, pursuing information that might help me grow. Now, do I still have that story flash up? Do I still feel like I suck at this, I'm no good at this, yes. But luckily, the world is full of reminders that we're exactly where we're supposed to be, midway on the journey. Take this as a reminder. You're exactly where you're supposed to be, midway on the journey. And I appreciate all the efforts that you do to grow and learn and be open to your unfolding, to your journey to sand. Thank you for facilitating my journey as well. I love you. I want to thank everyone who is giving likes and comments on the YouTube channel, Hug Nation. It means a lot and it makes a difference. Thank you to Milena Vargas. Your quote this week, your comment said, "That's the attitude, let's do better. Not only at Burning Man, but in our daily lives." Love you too. In the 30-day group, post-burn group that I've been running, we've been sharing these examples of acts like this and trying to encourage each other to seek them out or notice the opportunities when they come. And Stephen in the group shared this week that he was at a restaurant that had understaffed, and the manager was apologizing, and he was at the table, noticed it was like there's goop on the table, so he got someone's attention and asked for a rag, and then wiped down his table and noticed that all the tables were goopy. And so he ended up just like going around the restaurant and just wiping up, since he was just waiting. And eventually someone who was in the restaurant on break watched him do it and was insisted that they give him free food. And he's like, well, okay. Of course, he didn't do it to get free food, but it was a cool kind of like, he gave a gift because it felt like an opportunity to do good and to help. And someone else was reminded, oh wait, I have a way that I can be kind as well. His first thought was like, oh, it turned into a transaction. I'm like, I don't think so. I think that was more like if you gift someone a bracelet and they're like, thank you, this is awesome. Oh, you know what? I have some stickers that I can give you. Now, there is a dangerous place in there of like, do you feel obligated? That's a problem. If you feel like, oh, I don't have anything to give to you. Oh, I do have something. Like I can equal out this interaction. That's a problem. But if you're like, oh wait, this felt awesome. I want to do something nice too. That is how we change the world. I should note and say that we just finished the 30 days of the post-burn integration group. And I'm going to keep it going and open it up to more people. So we could do a weekly video Zoom call with assignments and a Facebook group where we're doing updates and we're doing accountability. And it's been really, really, really cool. And you do not have to be a burner to experience it. It's just about what we're talking about trying to push each other to be more open, push each other to be ambassadors of kindness and goodness in the world, push each other to be the best self that we know we can be, but sometimes the world discourages us from with their eye rolling and judgments and the not so subtle but insidious ways that our culture keeps us from being the brilliant lights that we are born to be. So if you have interest in that, shoot me a note and I will give you more information. I've been so energized by it. I feel like it's so good. It's just like this, except it's more personal with assignments and accountability and you know, a chance to just step up and inspire each other. So you are welcome. I would love to talk to you more about it.